I threw my disc in the canal again. I'm your Idaho Backroads neighborhood reporter, Steve Dent, but this gives me a chance to showcase a really important piece of safety gear that has changed the game for whitewater kayaking and rafting. How cold is too cold to go?
Oh, it's never too cold to go kayaking. If you have the gear, you can get dressed and get pumped up for it. You can always have a good time.
I caught up with Mateo Kowalczwk and his buddy after they finished up a lap on the South Fork of the Payette River. There were actually a lot of river runners. Check out the cars at the put-in. But everyone I saw out there had a really important piece of safety equipment.
What makes it super awesome for kayaking in the winter is I have this thing called a Drysuit, and I have these like latex gaskets that go on my wrists and my neck, so I'm completely dry. And underneath my dry suit, I wear like the exact same like layers that people wear when they're skiing.
The hands and the head are the hardest body parts to keep warm, but winter conditions also bring low water laps. It's not a good season for beginners, but it really helps knock off the rust instead of keeping the boats in the garage all winter.
And that way in the spring, when the high water comes, we're ready and we're not just jumping in cold feet.
Accessing the river can be more difficult in the winter, and boaters need to watch out for ice bridges. But those hazards didn't exist on the river this weekend.
This last couple weeks when we had all this snow, it got so cold that actually the flatter parts of the river iced over. And that's what kayakers call an ice bridge, and that can be quite dangerous just because the water goes underneath. And obviously if you were to go under there, you couldn't breathe. So we have like email groups and a bunch of people you can see from the road where the ice bridges are, so you can get out before them to walk around.
But obviously, if you're willing to brave the elements in the winter, it showcases how much people love this sport.
I just love being on the river, and I feel like I'm free, and it's so unique and just feels so awesome, like gliding through the water, catching a wave and surfing, and like even just going off a wave and catching air. It's so much fun, and just being out there in the water with your friends is really the best thing you can do.
I found a couple discs in here, but I did not find mine. Well, the Drysuit has really revolutionized the sport. In fact, the main water year over in the Columbia River Gorge in Oregon is November through June. I'm your Idaho Backroads neighborhood reporter, Steve Dent, for Idaho News 6.